I'm here with Scott and Sarah, and so they put Weston through their program, and he's about done. And so we have some exciting things to talk about. So what were some of the things that brought you guys here? What were things that he was doing?
He had a lot of sensory issues. We had trouble, pretty much, he just had trouble with life. I mean, noises, sensations, being outside, like the wind. If you started a lawnmower 3 houses down, he was running inside. I mean, like, he just had a lot of challenges. Would have meltdowns just because he would get overstimulated and just couldn't quite handle it.
Just like a baby crying was too much, and then we also had some challenges with potty training.
Yeah.
But
so when a baby cried, what would happen?
He would cover his ears or just
wanted to stop.
Yeah, he would have like some facial tics. Like he would start being like, just get upset. You could tell he was visibly upset.
Yeah, yeah. So you guys drive forever to get here.
We do.
You do. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, it's about 2.5, 3 hours, depending on how many times you stop and have to go to the bathroom now.
One way.
One way.
Yes, so 3 hours one way.
Yeah, I just have a part-time job. So.
Yes, right. Your part-time job coming to Brain Balance.
We go making t-shirts that say we love Brain Balance, but we hate to drive.
Yeah. So. It's amazing to me how much of a commitment it is to come and do this. It works, and so it's worth it. And
Absolutely.
It's definitely, but my gosh, you had such an obstacle to overcome that not every family that comes here does. So it's been really neat to sit back and watch you guys just figure it out and get here. So that part's really neat. So talk me through how things have changed. So what are you seeing different now?
Sure. I mean, he's a totally different kid. I mean, before, if we took him to an event, for example, we have a small group at church with a lot of little kids. We'd go there, he'd want to come straight home. He didn't like it was too much. He'd hide somewhere and wouldn't want to participate. And now he doesn't want to go home. He wants to stay and play with his friends. And he's one of the loud kids, running around with everybody else. And he wants to go out and do stuff all the time. And, I want to go to the library. I want to go to this. I want to go to school. He wants to participate in everything. And, he makes friends.
Right.
That's when you said when we started, we used to hear often from you and your staff, like, you got to write stuff down, you're going to forget it. And we're like, kind of biting our tongue.
Yeah,
like,
don't make me journal. Yeah.
Who's going to forget that they had these challenges,
Yes.
And when it's actually happening now, we're at that season where it's starting to be like, we're starting to see things kind of balance out, and we're not, we're starting to forget it. We're still always going to remember, but it's like, it's not so on the forefront of like, well, we got to be planned because we're going to go to this law building, and we got to make sure we have a strategy for this, and that he may want to go home, or like, we don't have to think about that anymore.
Yeah, we just go.
Yeah.
Before we'd have to plan everything. Now we're just like, hey, everybody get in the car.
Yeah,
like,
the potty training is
go potty and get in the car.
Yeah.
It's a great thing.
Yeah, and like that's coming on board, So it's like as those challenges start to dissipate, it's like
It's just nice. He can participate.
We have a new baby we had a 1-year-old that.
We had a baby during Brain Balance.
Yes,
don't recommend that.
You did have a baby during Brain Balance.
But I guess that illustrates the urgency of like we thought about like, is this a good time to do this while we're pregnant and we're going to have a baby? But we knew that, and now it confirmed for us that we have a crying baby. And like he tolerates it. It's not like he doesn't leave the room.
Yeah, and he plays patty cake
and
in the back of the car trying to get him to be fine, and he is. like that would not have happened prior to Brain Balance. Like he engages his brother. He sometimes will feed him, baby food for me, or that never would have happened before.
Wow.
And we're just excited with the timing too, because now, it benefited for the baby, but also our whole goal is, like we say, that this is, in reverse of what most people would think, of putting all this energy up front, as opposed to in the back end where you're getting ready for college and preparing him for life. But we felt by doing that now has really prepared him to start. He's going to start kindergarten on time, So like we're cheering like he's going to college because we're like he's hitting the targets. He's his career is starting now. So
and in regular kindergarten with no help and just in the normal class.
So in his preschool life, he had an IEP, right? And so walk me through what that was like when they removed it.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, we love his school. We love all the teachers and staff, and they are for our kids. But those meetings are hard. You sit there, and they're telling you all the things that your kid is having trouble with, which is just, you know, gets you right in the heart because you just don't want to see your kids struggle so much. And this last meeting in the spring, he had a big evaluation and everything was, he's in the normal range. He's in the normal range. Like, it was awesome. Like,
Who knew?
He passed with flying colors. So, I mean,
love it.
It was incredible it was a totally different meeting, and yeah, it was just,
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Well, and you think about how many kids don't need an IEP anymore. Like, it's
Yeah.
very rare,
Yeah.
but it isn't rare when they
Yeah.
come and do this, you
Yeah.
know? And
Yeah.
so, just like you talked about, doing everything up front and putting all of your energy up front is going to catapult him through life,
Mhm.
you know? So, it's such a big deal, such a big deal.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you give to parents who are thinking about doing this?
Well, I guess I'll make the first comment because I was the one who was kind of the most hesitant. When Sarah and Lori met, we had Weston down here. They were like, "This is what we need to do." They were like, join arms, like, "We're gonna do this." And I'm like, "Whoa, I don't know. My mind's not around it yet." Like, they saw the clear picture. It took me a while to get on board, and I guess I just encourage everyone to trust in the process because sometimes it's like I grew up on a farm, so I'm like, I can do this myself, you know, and like you really need the team effort. Like you need this. You know, you need the center, you need people at home, you need a community to help you do this.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would encourage people is to trust in the process, and even when you feel like, you know, there's no progress, there is progress. It's just not apparent.
Right.
And when you lose ground, it seems like the aggressions feel like if we were doing this on our own, we would say, oh, this is not working, we need to change. But since we were doing it with the team, people that were experienced, they coached us in advance that said, no, things are looking great, but just be ready. I'm like, I don't want to hear be ready, but that's what I needed to hear was like when that regression hits, I was able to weather that. We were able to weather that storm because we knew this was normal, this is expected. We're gonna come out of it. So
yeah, it's emotional.
Oh, absolutely.
It's so emotional, but oh my gosh, in the end, would you do it again?
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just because now who Weston is today and the joy he has for life, like you can't help but think like if we didn't do this that we would not be having the conversation we are now about the, you know, great progress that he's made. Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for sharing. It's been just a pleasure to have you guys, to say the least. So thanks again.
You're welcome.